Hey, my name is Frank, and this is another episode of Youth Men Review. For this episode, I'm not going to actually review much stuff, as much as just give you some insight on the apps I use to kind of, I guess basically just for Instagram. I don't really use it for much else. The kind of the apps that I use to promote events, to kind of send out reminders, to do different cool things on Instagram. I like using this for quotes and things like that. So different like design, I guess, but more so text-oriented stuff. I'm gonna tell you all the apps I use, and I'm a loyal guy. Like I know there's new stuff coming out all the time, but like I stick to like my 5 or 6 apps. And even if new stuff comes out, you have to do a lot to convince me to leave my 5 or 6 apps when it comes to this world. This little segment of design things, because I love it. I really love my apps. All right, the first design app that I use now, I don't remember off the top of my head if these apps cost money, but I will put the price right on my face so you guys can see how much these apps are, because I'm not gonna look it up right now to see how much these apps are. But some, I think most of them are free. If they're not all free, then they might cost pretty cheap. If they cost anything, it might also be the expansive, like the in-app purchases that cost stuff, which for me, I unlocked all of them because I love these apps, because I use these apps so often. The first app I get is Watergram, or yeah, Watergram is how it's pronounced, and basically it's an app for photos that you want to use the whole photo, but it's not square, and so it's a rectangle or it's tall because someone uses the camera like, all right, let me take a photo like this and whatever, and you don't want to crop anything out, and so, and that's kind of like teenagers like that. Like if some girls, they only use photos that don't look square, and it kind of makes their Instagram look goofy, but it kind of makes them individualistic. And so I use Watergram because there's occasionally where I want to use the whole photo without cropping it, and this app works. It makes the whole background white. It kind of looks seamless on Instagram, and it works. It's very simple, very intuitive. Check it out, Watergram. The other app I use is Pickframe. There's 1,000 of these apps. Basically, they're like collage apps where you can put multiple photos in this thing. I like Pickframe because I can press a box once, choose all the photos, and it automatically adds the photos. Now, if you want to put your photos in a certain pattern, like a certain place, you might have to play with that a little bit. But it's really simple, really easy. You can adjust the boxes to fit the photo how you want. You can manipulate some of the sizes. It's pretty great, and it does more than just square. You can do like, for other stuff, other collages. Maybe you want to make a poster or something. It's pretty great. I love Pickframe. I've been using this one for years. This is probably my oldest app in this collection of apps that I've been using for a while. I love Pickframe, but like, there's other ones that are probably just as great, maybe even better, that you already use. Comment below which collage app you use, because there's a lot of them out there. Over is an app that I started using a long time ago because there was a guy I followed named Mr. Medina, who's a producer over at Reach Records, who said his friend was creating this app called Over, and I was like, okay, you got me, you sold me, and so I downloaded Over, and it's very, very simple. It's not as flashy as the next app I'm going to talk about, but basically it's literally what it does. You get a photo, and it put words over the photo. And there is some manipulation you can do to it. You can adjust the size of the font. They have tons of fonts to choose from, and you can play with the picture in the background. It's very, very simple, but simple might not be the word. It's very intuitive is the right word. It can do a lot of stuff. But I don't use the app as much as I use the other app I'm about to mention, but I do use the app if I just have a large block of text I just want simply on top of the screen, so that way a message, a quote, an announcement can be clearly displayed over in the app. So I think that's a class. I think almost everyone has that app. If you don't, you should get it. And yes, I purchased the in-app purchases because I wanted more fonts, because I love fonts. The next app I get is WordSwag. Now this is the app that I use every week, at least every week, if not multiple times a week. And the reason why I love it is I get a picture, I put it as the background, or I use the in-app like normal like blank backgrounds, and I just type in the text, and there's a bunch of like almost like filters for Instagram, a bunch of options to have the text manipulated into do cool different shapes. So maybe it'll be like tall, almost like a not an infographic, but just like a typography image where it's just like the letters are manipulated, the words are manipulated to make it look cool, and it does it all for you. Like I love just being simple and minimal and just letting it do it all for me. And so WordSwag does it. The name is a little lacking in what's desired for a name, but it does the job it needs to do. And so it's really awesome. And what's a good partner app for this app that's not related to this app, but I relate to this app, is an app called Unsplash. And so Unsplash is a app that was created from this free stock image site where I get a lot of my stock images from, that they email me every single week, or every single, I think it's week or monthly, I don't know what it is, but they send you free license free, you don't have to pay anything, free images that are really high quality and good, and you can use this app to get those same images and put them in your backgrounds of your photo, of your Word stuff. And so anyway, get the Unsplash app, it's free, and just start skimming through the photos. They're excellent, high quality photos, and you can make some amazing little typography announcements or quotes with those things. If you look through them, you'll probably see some of the stuff I've used on my own Instagram plug, and you can see some of the stuff I've made with that, and you can see the Unsplash photos. In fact, once you go on this website, you'll be like, dang, a lot of churches use Unsplash, because it seems like every church, I know DYM, I know We Do It Youthman, I know a bunch of places use these images for their stuff. In fact, just go to Unsplash and check out everybody else, because they're using Unsplash too, because it's like the go-to stock photo free license thing. So check it out. And the last thing that actually got a lot of conversation was the app called Legend. So just like everything else, it's just typography in the picture. Legend takes it a step further and makes it a 6-second video. And so it's really cool. So this is kind of like not an infographic, but it's like something you would make in After Effects, where it's just like words coming on the screen and moving out, doing all this kind of stuff, or it's gently placed and then goes away. Like it's a cool app. That might cost like $2 or $3, but it's totally worth it. It's been fun to play with. You can't use like huge sentences, but like something quick like youth group tonight, free donuts or whatever. Like it'll make cool videos in that regard, and it's just like my kids have responded to that a lot better than some of the other stuff I've made, because it's interesting to look at. And not that I use this, because I don't really use this, but you can use that same app Legend for Vines, because Vine is like 6 seconds and these videos are 6 seconds. So something to think about. Or you can use them for Snapchat and then get fired. Just kidding. Alright, if you have any questions, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe to this video, share it with a friend. If you have any questions, hit me up. God bless and have a great week.